need you to get out of your own way, unpress yourself. Look at the reality of where the system is coming from and tell me what new wires you are putting in your life. Because that is what makes people follow you on tour. Every great leader you admire, no matter how much success they show, has something they're still working through. Today, we're not talking about the version of them you already know. We're talking about the version they don't always show. All right, my friend, I so appreciate you. Thank you for being with me today, and thank you for being willing to be on the show.
Man, I'm in the seat.
Let's go. You. Okay, hey, as long as you know what kind of seat you're getting into, then we'll be okay.
Absolutely.
Let's get into it then. Again, as we sort of mentioned before, I would love to know: is there currently something in your life, personally, professionally, business? I know you got a lot of things going on. Is there anything currently happening or going on that you would say is like something valuable for you to think through, work through, a difficulty, hardship, obstacle, whatever, however language we want to have? What's currently something you're thinking through that would be valuable for us to dive into?
Oh, absolutely. I really am honored to be here.
Yeah, of course.
It's a blessing. I guess for context for people, I have a podcast called Faith Hustle. And it's important, the name of it, because my dad has told me, like, hey, there's no irony that the thing that is maybe the challenging thing for you right now is faith. And when I mean faith, not faith in God, but faith that, at least what my personal conviction is, that God asked me to do this. And we've been doing it for about close to a year and a half. It's brought me the most joy that I've ever felt. In my life, and a sense of calling, purpose. And yeah, it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Recently, after a time of vacation time that I had in early June, spent some time praying, felt God put in my heart. We've been doing these nights. We call them Faith Hustle nights. So it's for Christian entrepreneurs, content creators, to come together to network. We do live podcasts like this. We got different vendors that come, DJ, all this stuff. We just make it a really cool environment just to give, just to serve, wash feet and make an environment where people can meet their future business partners or clients or customers, friends, just to know that they're not alone. And so it's been amazing, and kind of felt impressed on my heart that we should take this on tour. We had gotten some different, traction, and people were interested in different cities. And so, people in Atlanta, people in Philly, they were like, hey, you should do it here. And so, me alongside, now, a new friend, Michael Bethany, who's a worship leader, we're doing a combined tour together where basically we're going to do the same thing at worship. He has a nonprofit where we're going to build wells in West Africa and Sri Lanka. And yeah, we're doing this 5-city tour. I say all that to say, the idea of a tour, I felt a conviction it was something I was supposed to do. And it terrified me. I've never done a tour before. I don't know how to pay for it. We're talking with different sponsors and tech companies and software companies and banks. And
what part of it terrified you? Back up. Maybe make it in present tense. What parts of it terrify you?
Oh yeah. It's a very much present tense.
Let's make it present.
Yeah. All of it. I think one, just the scope.
Okay.
Of how is this going to happen? Are we going to get the funding for it? Like, we're, weeks away, and we're still in conversations to get a deal done to get it funded. There's also like, okay, we do it. Will people show up? All those different things. Is it foolish to do all those different things? And,
squeeze that into feeling for me. That makes you feel.
Yeah. The feeling for me, I feel, I don't know if this is a feeling, but I feel foolish in what I'm doing.
Okay, let's go down that track. And when you feel foolish, it makes you feel.
It makes me feel like inadequate.
Okay, and when I'm inadequate, then I believe I'm.
a failure.
Okay. Let's stay there just for a second.
Yeah.
Now, go back to your original word, faith.
Mm-hmm.
Does faith mean if I have enough of it, I won't fail? If I don't have enough of it, I will fail. Would you say that maths?
So say again, if I
had enough faith,
yep,
I would not fail. If I don't have enough faith, I'll probably fail.
I would say that statement I would feel is true. Yeah.
Okay, I agree with you.
Yeah,
so now let's talk about it practically. If what you said right now feels difficult, which is I feel like I don't know if I have enough faith. And again, not you said, your words, not mine, not your faith in God, not the belief in his existence. The faith in the sense of the hope, the belief that I will attempt something and something will come of that thing.
Right.
The more belief I have, maybe I'll replace, can I make for our math equation, can I make faith synonymous with belief?
Okay. Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. When I have enough belief, I won't fail. But if I don't have enough belief, I will fail. And I don't want to fail because if I fail, I'm going to feel inadequate. And if I feel inadequate, then it's going to make me feel, and that makes me scared.
Yes. Yeah.
So far, so good?
Yes.
Okay. So I think there's an ability for us to, two things come to mind for me. The first is, we often talk backwards and we don't know it. So I said, how do you feel? And you said, I guess I feel scared. I said, well, what does that mean? And you said, I don't know. I guess I feel like it's a scope. It's still big. What does that mean? I feel like I'm inadequate. What does that mean? I feel like I'm going to fail. Okay.
Yeah.
No, what you feel is that you might fail. And upon failure, you would feel inadequacy.
Yes.
And that inadequacy would then drive you to go, then I must have chosen something that was too big for me, which that ultimately made me scared.
Yes.
You follow me?
We on the right track.
However, I have never known faith or belief to exist where it did not hold hands with doubt.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I don't think faith or belief can exist without holding hands on doubt.
Yeah.
The only thing that makes doubt gone is certainty.
Yeah. And that's the opposite of...
And that's the opposite of belief.
Faith, yeah. It's the opposite of belief, yeah.
So maybe we could then say sometimes when you feel overwhelmed by the idea of the faith hustle, when you feel overwhelmed by the faith needed to be successful, when you feel overwhelmed by the scope which makes us feel inadequate and have a fear of failure, maybe we should remind ourselves that the subtitle for the podcast that only you get to see is actually called The Doubt Hustle.
Yeah.
Because it's the face of doubt that forces us to get back up and continue the hustle so that it can be with faith.
Yeah.
That to the end, the desire, this is my 2 cents on sort of watching you from afar and previously been on your show, and then sort of what you're into and where you say you want to go next. The result can never be the reason.
Yeah.
Because if you or I would have guessed the results we would have yielded as of today, 12 months ago, we would have sold ourselves so short.
Yeah.
So the result after your tour will never be an adequate reason for you to go on tour.
It's true.
All of the unknown and uncertainty and doubt about the tour is the reason we go on tour.
Yeah.
To see and uncover and discover whatever it is that might be out there that you and I are incapable of attempting to determine before it happens.
This guy's good. I don't know if you know that. This guy's good. I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday. And this has been I'm glad we're here because this has been the most vulnerable I've ever been in my life. Not that I'm not vulnerable, but you know what I mean? Like,
I'm with you.
It's a very vulnerable position where I'm in, and yet I feel God in it. But I had this conversation with my friend, like, I've battled discouragement on and off in my life, where it's like, man, I don't want to get out of bed and stuff like that. But it would be like once a year, maybe, I've had more times in the last 6 months where I just reclused in fear, the stress, the pressure that I just didn't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Yesterday was one of those days.
Yeah.
I just did not, I did, but I did not want to.
Yeah.
And I have people I call,
sure.
And so I reached out to my friend, and he said, man, he's like, I just want to, and he tells me this all the time, I just want to remind you, you are not a walking contradiction. He was like, you're allowed to be human and you can still be in faith. Like I can trust God and still be scared. And I'll say context for how I was raised. Yeah. That's not language we would use.
That's right.
It's not.
Right.
I was raised very word of faith, which I love my roots. I'm not dogging it.
Two things can be true at the same time.
Two things can be true. Love them.
Yeah.
But we had this, whether it was taught directly or indirectly, it came across that faith was denial
100%
of the facts.
That's right.
And so because I'm believing to be healed, for example, I can't say I'm sick.
That's right.
Because I'm believing for financial breakthrough, I can't say that I'm lacking and I'm struggling.
Right.
Even though I am.
Right.
And it's like, well, I need to give God something to bless, but I'm pretending like I'm not. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I need help. I'm asking God for help, but I have to pretend like I don't need help.
And what I hear you describing is that what you have sort of unlocked for yourself is that there is a relationship to be had with your Savior, not a dictatorship to be told you who you are.
Yeah.
So like if we're going to live in a space where faith is real and evident and living, then I must be living with it. But to discard and to discredit the humanity that I have in my pain, in my joy, in my depression, in my hope, in my all whatever words we want to use about that I think create the human experience.
Yeah.
To say that those things can exist because I have faith? No, those things actually exist because I have faith.
Yeah.
And they get to exist and not absolutely destroy me every day, only some days.
Yeah.
And I think from what I can gather, that's supposed to be that way. At least here.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
So why would I expect anything differently?
Yeah.
And to use your, you didn't use this word, but it sort of made me think of this with a client of mine I had a couple years ago. And so we sort of kind of came to this revelation together. So I'm going to share it with you. And if it helps you, great. And if not, maybe somebody else it does. But so you said, you have these periods of, you didn't use this word. So I'm putting this word out there. If this isn't it, you can spit it out. But this periods of discouragement, periods of, depression. You didn't say the word depression, but that's sort of what I gathered from like, I don't want to get out of bed and I want to stay home. I sort of feel. So I asked him one time, he said, I just get so tired though of people always asking me, are you depressed? Oh, you seem sad. Are you okay? Hey, are you? And he's like, I know I'm probably not, but I'm, what making it worse is you asking me if I am.
Yeah.
And I said, what if I could break the word down for you? And I said, this is 100% Rocky vocabulary, which means it's probably not true, but I just made it up.
Yeah.
I said, what if we broke that word down? I said, the moments when you feel sad, burdened, overwhelmed, and you don't want to get out of bed, do you literally feel like you are being depressed? I said, do you feel like there's a thumb on your back that is depressing you into the earth? And he said, every aspect of my being on those days feels as though I am being depressed. I said, okay. I said, what in your life is the release of that pressure? And where did it come from? And he said, on most days, I am the pressure. On most days, if I'm really honest, I am the one with my thumb on my own back, convincing myself that failure is not an option because I have to be adequate because I cannot fail and I cannot have fear. Otherwise, I have no worth and value. But he said, on the days in which I recognize that I am as capable of unpressing as I am of depressing, I recognize that maybe it is the exact emotion and feeling that I am having that needs to be brought forward and released so that I can realize I am human. And he said, it's not that I don't want my friends to ask me, are you okay? He said, I just need to find a different question for people to ask me to remind me that I'm okay.
Yeah.
And that both can exist at the same time.
Yeah. Man, that's good. Yeah, I had another conversation with a friend yesterday too at church. And I was honest with him. I think if anything, what I've learned more, be fair, I feel like I've always been a pretty transparent person. Sometimes too transparent. But with people close to me, I've learned the secret of, if you keep it in the dark, it's only going to get worse. Bring it in the light. You know, obviously with trusted people, but bring it in the light.
Sure.
And I have a trusted friend. I just shared. I was like, yeah, today sucked. I was like, and I didn't use that language, but I was just like, it was a hard day. And I was trying to give all the explanation. He was like, Mukwenda. He's like, you're a man that like, yeah, like anytime you come in our presence, like you're full of such joy and all these different things. Mukwenda's allowed to have sucky days, sucky moments. Like it is okay. Like it is okay. And again, that's me having to undo how I'm, or learn a new pathway from how I was wired.
Yeah.
And that.
Explain that new pathway to me.
That God exists in those moments just as much as the moments where I feel on the mountaintop.
Okay, great. Let's hold that.
Yeah.
You historically have been in a position where it was believed to be true that God existed when it was good.
Or when I was feeling good.
God was most prevalent with you and present when you were good.
Yeah.
And if I chose to verbalize I was bad, he might be away.
Yeah.
So I think I don't disagree that there are a bajillion of us out there who have gone at some season of our life and thought this.
Yeah.
However, I think this is, and we're using this specific example regardless of our listeners have faith or not. That's not the point. We can use it and they can sort of parallel this someplace else. But I think a part of the reason that's difficult is because we're, if we think about it, like in plains, fields, in tiers, we're in the wrong tier.
Yeah.
Everything you just described is still the human tier.
Yeah.
To say that this has to be true for him to exist, and if this is true, he doesn't. I don't think we're on this. I don't think we're on the right plane. We had to go to this plane.
Yeah.
He either does or he doesn't, and it's not within my control to determine that.
That's good. Yeah.
It either is or it isn't. Not always and forever. It either is or it isn't, and I don't get to dictate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if he does, now we can create maybe we don't have to rewire. Maybe we just get to add a wire. Maybe there's something beauty about the history of your life that says that God is with you when it is good. Maybe you're creating a secondary wire, a much more full picture, a additional thread through the tapestry. We could go through 1,000 analogies here. Yeah. But in those moments, we have elevated what we used to believe to be true to a whole new tier that allows the multitudes of what could be possible to be true, that we get to be alive. And that we get to exist and that we get to be human.
Yeah.
That the singular answer that for so long was our safety and security might actually be the thing that we've been using to protect us rather than the thing to propel us. And we love to be protected and we love to be safe and we love to be secure. There's a line in a really great children's movie that says, he's not safe, but he is good. So that tells me that he is good.
Yeah.
Even when I am not.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different tier for us to live into.
It is.
And so I say that as an attempt to potentially relieve some of the pressure that you can feel to go, now I have to rewire my whole system. No. I need you to get out of your own way, unpress yourself. Look at the reality of where the system is coming from. And tell me what new wires you are putting in your life. Because that is what makes people follow you on tour. Is to realize that maybe you are crafting a way for business, faith, drive, commerce, creativity. 5 wires that historically we have been told do not belong together.
Yeah.
To belong together because we've taken the truth and elevated it to a tier that is no longer within our control in order to create a reality that exists for most of us that says maybe the good and bad, joy and pain, beauty and harm can all exist at the same time.
Yeah. Man, it's good. I like what you said. Not rewire, add a wire.
Because we don't want to take away how you got here.
Right.
I mean, you just spent 2 weeks overseas with your dad.
Yeah.
Doing work that your dad loves, passionate about, has been his entire life. What a beautiful thing to be able to go as a son to go spend that time with your father. We don't want to rewire that.
No.
Wouldn't we be doing ourselves a disservice though if we didn't add our own?
Yeah. To grow, to evolve. Yeah. And no, it's
so faith is something that is active with me, not a solo spot for me to pursue. My faith is not something that somebody else can judge because it matches their bylaws, because it is an active, growing, becoming every day of my life.
Yeah.
And that doesn't give me the liberty to do as I will at the dismay of others.
Yeah.
It gives me the freedom to be who I was told I was made in the image of, as a consistent becoming.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this week's podcast. Join us next week for the part 2 conclusion of our conversation, and don't forget to join us this month for our leadership training. You can register you and your team at rockygarza.com/confidence.